please hear the words I'm about to say. For some, they'll be difficult to accept. God is for you. Now, I know there's times where you questioned it, but He has a better plan for your life than you could ever imagine. I'm convinced that if you are hearing these words, that the Lord wants to reveal Himself to you as the God who is for you. He wants to sow deep into the very fabric of your heart the truth, and not just the words of Jeremiah 29:11, which reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." In this verse, you can hear the heart of God echoing throughout all of time and space. These words, I am for you. This beautiful and good plan can only unfold by completely entrusting your heart to Christ and by allowing the Holy Spirit to lead your entire life with total surrender. For most of my life, I had a very distorted view of God. I saw Him as arms crossed and toe tapping with this look of disappointment. For so long, I'd been bombarded with the lie that He was against me, and His plan for my life might be what He wants, but more than likely it will make me miserable. I could marvel in awe at the words of David in Psalm 56:9, where he says, "This I know, God is for me." I didn't know that because I really didn't know Him. He had to lead me into the desert, into the wilderness, before He could woo me into the promised land. I had to go through an intense season of heartache and disappointment, where all the staple things that I believe are so important seemed to slip through my fingers. The kind of aspirations where the world and the enemy whisper to me, "This is what defines you. This is what makes you successful and happy." But only in that place where all of my plans seemed to fall apart, where the things that I thought defined me seemed to crumble to pieces, did I start to really let go and trust Him. I remember being a Christian and asking people to pray for me about a certain circumstance or a job that I hope to get, and inevitably they would say these words, "I will pray for God's will to be done." I remember thinking to myself, no, don't do that. I want the thing that I want to happen. Because ultimately, deep down inside, I didn't believe that His plan for my life was really good. But Romans 12:2 uproots that lie that God's will is harsh, unpleasing, or worse, boring, and replaces it with the truth that His will is good, pleasing, and perfect, because that's who He is. In Exodus 33, when Moses asked God, "Show me your glory," and of all the words that God could have used to express experiencing the fullness of who He is, He said, "Moses, I will let all of my goodness go before you." This is how I know that God is for you. Because it is His very nature. And for Him to be anything else than good would be to deny Himself. He is for you. Do you believe that? You might say, well, okay, if God is for me, then why does He allow all this bad stuff to happen? All the bad things that have happened to you are not God's fault. Why? Because He is good. But just like the story of Joseph in Genesis, He will take the things intended for harm and use them for good, because that's who He is. He is for you. To that which you think is unmentionable and lost and ugly, He will bring about unimaginable beauty and restoration. Why? Because He is for you. Why does He do it? Why redeem your marriage or your vocation or your dreams? When we read again Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And we love this verse because it makes us feel like everything's going to be okay. And it fits on a bumper sticker or a t-shirt. But the best part is not that verse, it's the next two verses. It tells us the reason why He unfolds this beautiful plan. In it, it says, "Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart." It's all about relationship. He just wants to be with you. You are His deepest desire. And whether you know it or not, He is your deepest and ultimate desire as well. This I know, that today, if you are listening to my voice, then the Holy Spirit is inviting you to step into your destiny. It's an invitation to intimately know and trust the goodness of God. Then you too, like David, can declare from the depths of your soul these words: "This I know, God is for me."